So this deck is probably going to be one of the weirdest mashups of cards you'll ever see. Beetles, warriors, and dragons, all of which have a surprising amount of synergy with each other. So just a fair warning before jumping into this deck list, this archetype, or this archetypes combined, isn't exactly a top tier relevant deck list. It's definitely more of a meme list. It's not exactly a weak deck list. It can definitely compete with the top tier stuff, as you'll see during the gameplay portion. But if you're looking for something to take into a tournament, or something to just have an insane win rate to stomp the ladder really quickly, or play in the upcoming KC Cup or whatever its equivalent is for Rush Duel, I probably wouldn't take this deck list. It's definitely more of a for fun deck list to show off what you can do with the brand new Red Eye skill, which I know a lot of you guys are probably looking for something to play it with, so that's why I made this video. That being said though, I don't want to put you off this deck list, as like I said, it's still a fairly decent deck list. It just isn't quite as good as some of the more top tier sort of archetypes in the game, but given the right hands, you're definitely going to be giving a lot of the top tier meta decks a bit of an ass blasting. So here's today's deck list. Just a reminder before I get to the deck list, if you guys are enjoying today's video and want to see more content just like this in the future, especially if you're a returning viewer, so apparently about 35% of you watching this are even subscribed to the channel, meaning 65% of you haven't even subscribed yet. So if you guys are enjoying this kind of content or seeing more deck lists from me in the future or more videos from me in the future, remember to leave a like on this video and consider subscribing to the channel down below. Alright, let's jump into this deck list. So today's deck list is going to be your Red Eyes Beetle beatdown with a little bit of Yamiruler as well. So you might be wondering, why exactly are we playing all these archetypes meshed together? Well basically, there is a shit ton of synergy to actually be had here. So let's start off by talking about the Beetle. So the Beetle, if you didn't know, is a card that can give your monsters on your field bonus attack based on the level 1 monsters in your graveyard. So obviously, there is a bunch of level 1 support we just got given that can synergize with this Beetle. Starting off with, of course, the King's Majesty, a card that can shuffle back your level 1 normal theme monster in your graveyard back into the deck list to negate your opponent's attack. So just play a shit ton of level 1 monsters, and we've now got a bunch of attack for your Beetle, and of course a fantastic trap card, one of the best ones in the game. On top of that, we also got another brand new level 1 monster, your Black Dragon's Chick. So this thing on top of being a stat boost for your Beetle, can also be used in combination with the skill Black Dragon's Rising to search for Red Eyes from your deck, or search for Red Eyes from your graveyard, and reduce the attack of your opponent's monsters on the field. So this card, whenever you draw it, it's essentially going to be a Red Eyes that you can tribute off to summon out the Red Eyes from your hand, so then to give a little bit of a stat boost for your Beetle as well. On top of that, we also got another brand new supporting card that works so well with the Beetle, your Seraph of Darkness. This thing, when you have a face-up level 5 or higher dark attribute monster, which your Beetle and your Red Eyes both are, this thing can target one of your opponent's monsters by paying 500 life points, and just flip it to face down defense position, or flip it to face up attack position. So, fantastic card that can make sure you beat over basically most top tier boss monsters in the game, and yeah, just a fantastic card that synergizes very well with the deck list. On top of that, I chose to run the Yamiruler as well, and the reason we're running him is of course he's a dark monster, so he synergizes very well with the Seraph of Darkness, and he also gets around the restriction of your skill, which stops you from being able to swing with level 7 effect monsters. Yamiruler is level 8, so technically this guy can actually swing in combination with your Red Eyes, especially if you open a copy of your Awakener as well, which can change his battle position after using his effect. So this card, it just gets around that little bit of restriction of your skill. You don't necessarily need to run Yamiruler. If you want to play any other sort of dark level 8 monster, you can, or just play any other level 8 monster for that matter, and you're still going to be okay. I just chose this card because it has probably the most synergy with this deck list, especially when you're playing your Seraph. But if you want to play some other level 8 monster, or even just play a level 7 monster and not care about the restriction from the skill, you can also do that. This is just the one that I sort of chose to run with this deck list. And that's basically going to do it for the deck list. Everything else in here is sort of stuff you've probably seen before, so I'm not going to bother going through it. And without further ado, let's jump into some gameplay showcasing what this deck list can do. Alright, let's jump into these replays. So this is actually the third time I've tried to record this, because my microphone died the previous 2 times and I didn't notice, so I'm pretty familiar with these replays now. So hopefully my microphone doesn't die a 3rd time, as that'll be a little bit annoying, but we move, we keep going. I'm sure we find this time, right guys? Surely. Surely you won't die a 3rd time. Alright, I should stop jinxing myself. Alright, so up against a dragon player. Starting off with a widespread ruin and a recital, so we're feeling pretty safe, even with only 2 monsters on the field. Opponent's gonna summon out the new card, the Ancient Arise Dragon. Thankfully wasn't able to use this effect though, and we can just use the trap card to remove it. Alright, you're activating the skill to search for red eyes, reducing the attack, and then summoning the red eyes to the field, along with the Beetle as well. Unfortunately, my opponent did have a widespread ruin here, which is a little bit annoying. I could have tried to play around this a little bit better by maybe just buffing the shit out of just one of the Beetles, and the widespread would have killed the Beetle instead of the red eyes. But then I can't use the red eyes skill to reduce attack later on if I draw a red eyes chick, so I think this is probably better anyway. Alright. Alright, he's buffing the shit out of his monster. He's going to swing in, killing my monster. Summoning, tribute summoning, of course, the Yamiruler. We've actually got a copy of the Awakener in hand as well, so this is going to be a Yamiruler that can attack. And finally summoning out the second Beetle. Wow, it's my third Beetle this duel actually, I think. And doing 3,700 straight into his monster. Opponent's drawing pretty bricky, but we've drawn into a King's Majesty, which feels pretty good. But that's one of the upsides of playing the Majesty, or playing more trap cards with Yamiruler, is that because there's more trap cards in the game now, delaying a turn gets even stronger, because you can delay into drawing more trap cards to then protect the Yamiruler, so... yeah, trap cards synergize pretty well with this guy. Alright, opponent's gonna buff the shit out of his monsters, actually summoning out a copy of Dragius. I won't show the Dragius animation too many times in this video, as, let's be honest, you've all seen this a billion times before. Alright, he's going to try to swing in. Of course, we're going to negate the attack, which actually negates both of its attacks, because it actually has to swing in to get the second attack off. And yeah, he just concedes, because he knows what's going to happen. Alright, on to our second replay. And the microphone's still recording. Good, good, good. Alright, I love technical issues. Alright, up against another Japanese player. What's that? Ogamu or something? Ogamu, and is that the number 1? I mean, I don't know, is that Ichi? I don't know if he's using it as number 1 or if it's some sort of vocabulary thing in Japan I don't know about. Someone in the comments will probably tell me though. I think I read their name right though. Anyway, so summoning out the red eyes, summoning out my other monster, summoning out my Beetle, and of course we have a Recital on field, so if he gets rid of one of my monsters, we're going to be protected still. Unfortunately, he has a Ghost Cyclone, and this guy was playing a lot of back row removal. And you don't understand, you're going to see, this guy was a bit of a back row removal addict. Alright, so he swings in again. Can't swing in with this guy though, because he used the sports dudes. Alright, so I'm like, great, I drew two lots of back row, I'm pretty good to go. I'm pretty scared of his back row though, so I decided to not swing into this card, because I wanted to make sure that I had at least one monster on the field for the Recital, so I'm not going to trade these two off. In case he does have something for my White Dragon, he Hammer Crushes one card, Hammer Crushes another card by discarding another Ghost Cyclone. Yeah, Ghost Cyclone, Hammer Crush, Ghost Cyclone, Hammer Crush. This guy really hates back row. He must have had a bad experience recently. Only explanation I can think of. Alright, swings into my stuff. Thankfully had to go kind of negative by discarding a bunch of cards, but anyway. Then summons out another source of back row removal. My god. I just was not meant to have trap cards this game. This card might actually see a little bit of play now, considering back row is actually a thing. Alright, tribute summoning out my Yamiruler, of course, which is pretty good versus Dragon decks. This guy has got a pretty dope animation. And of course got the Awakener to change its attack as well, or change it to attack, before swinging in, trading off my monster, and then having just the Yamiruler's effect to floodgate him, and one goat. Unfortunately, he can trade over the Yamiruler thanks to his skill, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Alright, didn't draw the greatest hand. We kind of wanted one extra tribute here, but it's gonna have to do. And we have got a widespread ruin, and surely he doesn't have another back row removal. Surely. So as long as he can't kill me here, he's gonna deck out himself, so yeah, we're good to go. Swings in, widespread ruin, and that's not gonna be enough to kill me. And he's gonna deck out now. It's a bit of a close one there, but we got him in the end. Alright, up next. We have a Korean name. I have no chance of reading this name. Alright.
Let us begin! Get ready for the rush!
So I think this guy was actually playing Red Eyes as well, so a little bit of a mirror match actually. Yeah, so he searches for his Red Eyes. I've decided not to set my Red Eyes on turn 1. I could if I wanted to draw some more cards. Maybe that was better actually, I don't know. But we have got a bit of follow-up with just these two cards alone. And then we drew into a Yamiruler, so even better. Now, Yamiruler doesn't work too well against Red Eyes because he can actually just summon out the Red Eyes using the chick. But the Red Eyes won't be able to beat over this card, even with the attack reduction via the skill, because this needs to be a defense position, so... It's a bit of a, It's not the greatest versus Red Eyes, but it does stop your Red Eyes being able to... his Red Eyes being able to kill me. If he draws a chick, that is. Which I think he did. And I use Reincarnation to add back the chick. Which can then summon the Red Eyes, reduce the attack, and beat over my Red Eyes. Alright. Summon his monster, activates the chick. Alright, flipping his monster face down, the Beetle sending a card to graveyard, getting hit by a widespread. But that's fine. And then I take 400 damage because I hit something with a lot of defense. Alright, we've got our own Recital to negate that attack. Summoning a level 1, summoning a level 1. There's another Yamiruler. Don't think I used its effect this turn though. Just gonna boost the shit out of this monster, so if he does have the annoying trap card, which he did, he's not gonna be able to do anything about it. Before hitting for 17. And there he must have bricked or didn't, or just gave up or something because he decided to just not summon anything. Which of course means he's going to take 4,300 for the dome. Alright, next up. Alright, next up we have a bit of, I think, Katakana? Yeah, my Katakana is really bad. I think that's what, Ko-u or something? Ku or something? And then an @ sign? I don't think that's Japanese. Anyway. Is that like his Twitter handle or something? Anyway. So my boy's gonna summon out his bit of a bricky start for this guy, which is nice for us. It's nice to occasionally verse someone that doesn't open a god hand for a change. Alright, swing into him, doing a bit of damage. And we have got a Recital set as well. Opponent once again drew not too great, but he has got a lot of back row now. And we drew into a Yamiruler, so we're very happy. If your opponent bricks and you're playing Yamiruler, you're just going to make sure he still isn't going to be able to play the game, even when he does draw his cards. Alright, changing his battle position, then changing it again. Hoping for no widespread ruin, which thankfully he didn't have one. So we hit him for quite a bit more damage. And he's extremely low now. Hits a Cyclone, he's still under the effect of Yamiruler though, so we're not too scared. Summons his dude, changes the battle position, sends a dude to the graveyard, has to discard his own Yamiruler, which can't feel good, and he couldn't even beat over this card, so yeah, he's just... he had a rough one this duel. Alright, slash, pop in the back row, not enough to deal with the Yamiruler anyway, and he's just dead on the field. Alright, final replay. I think this last replay was the one that had the cool ending to it, where I really showed off some of the cool mechanics with this deck. The ending of this is really good. Alright. And like how I can read that name. can eat some of it. Don't know what it means though.
Let us begin.
Alright.
For the rush.
So setting 3 cards with 2 back row. So we bricked quite a bit here. So we went from one game where my opponent bricked a shit ton to this game where I also bricked a shit ton. Not bricking by drawing too many high levels, but because I just kept drawing all low levels. As you can see, just all low level hands aren't going to help me too much. That's a very hangry looking character. For some reason summoned this thing out early, I don't know why you'd ever do that. I guess he just wanted to draw more cards, so he distributed. Again, no high level monsters, so we're going through quite a lot of cards in the deck here. Yeah, the downside of drawing so many low levels is it means that you can have very little cards in deck, meaning towards the end of the game, if it does go for a prolonged time, you're going to deck out way faster than your opponent. Alright, Yamiruler being summoned, we can change his battle position of course. Pray to God he hasn't got a widespread, or that would be terrible. Does have a barrier which defends him, so might as well be in a widespread, but we can at least take out that annoying level 7. And we have 3 lots of back row to defend ourselves. Alright, Drum gonna be summoning a big boy. I'll tribute summoning out a big boy. Boosting the shit out of its field. We can negate one of the attacks. We can negate a second of the attacks. And if you had a third monster, we could have negated that as well. And again, it didn't draw any high level monsters. So this was a very bricky sort of hand, but at least we only drew low levels and didn't draw as only high levels, because that's obviously much worse. Alright, summoning out a copy of Yamiruler again. Once again changing his battle position, and this time we have a Beetle as well. And those low level monsters are finally going to put in some work, and we've got a pretty big Beetle. Not quite enough to kill him though. He pops our back row, sets 3, and now we're scared of decking out ourselves, so we don't want to summon too many cards. So Black Dragon's Rising, shuffling a card back into the deck list, so actually making the deck list slightly smaller, or slightly bigger. I know we actually used to search this from the deck list, so never mind. Alright, opponent's going to set a bunch of stuff. We're going to try not to draw any more cards, so we're just going to chill on just drawing 1 card a turn, and hopefully at some point be able to hit him in the face. Or make him deck out by just keep clearing his board. Alright. So in this case, by the way, I needed to find a way to play through this back row in case there was something important, and he only has 500 life points. So what I did was I summoned out my Red Eyes Black Chick, I used the Red Eyes Black Chick to summon out the Red Eyes Black Dragon, and then I tributed over my own Red Eyes. And the reason I did this is because now that Red Eyes is in the graveyard, I can activate the skill, adding him back to hand. And the reason for this is, it can then reduce the attack of my opponent's monster. So now I potentially have 3 separate monsters that can all beat over this thing for lethal damage. So whatever those back row is, he should be dead. As long as he didn't have some insane stat boosting thing, or I don't know what he would have to have here. Some insane combo. Either way, he was just dead. And that's going to do it for today's replays. Hope you guys enjoyed them. If you did, remember to like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob? Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis. Oh.